Welcome to Week 8 Podcast. How's it going, Rob?
Well, it's going great, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Three losses in a row. Whatever.
All right. Well, let me make a couple of announcements here real quick. First of all, gentlemen, it's November 1st this weekend, which means, gentlemen, it's time to start paying up the debt. So let's start making arrangements to get those in, please. No pressure or anything, but let's start moving some money over to the Game Green. I would greatly appreciate it. And two, Sam, I would like to point out to everybody that I and the league certainly appreciate you slogging through with your 2-16 and showing up every week to do this podcast.
I try to. And Rob, can you remind them on how you accept payments? Which different ways? I accept
payment. I prefer Venmo, but I can take PayPal, no problem. And you guys can. If you need to, you can send me checks. I don't care. You can bring me cash. It doesn't matter. So, but my preferred method is Venmo.
There you guys go. Okay.
Look me up if you need to.
Let's take a look at conference standing here. Heck, we can probably talk about playoffs now. Playoffs.
Yeah. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. No. Let's shaking out a little bit.
Let's take a look at Conference 1 here. New Denver, and good luck. I'm just shocked at 1,200 points, and then everybody else.
Well, we're not. Henry and I aren't that far behind. It's 80 points. It's 10 points a week. The bigger problem there is New Denver. 5 in a row. He just won't lose right now. So we're going to see later. He got a fairly cheap one this week, but one that you can get with that amount of points. But he's rolling. I got 3 in a row, Sam, but it's like I'm losing ground to the guy.
Yeah. New Denver, Gang Green, Savs. And we'll talk about him, Bruin Maniacs, rusty, right? He's a little rusty from being away a little bit. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, yeah, and he's had a couple of weeks in a row like bad buy action, so that's certainly keeping that score a little overly down. But 4 in a row, he can't win, so he's struggling.
And let's go to the win division there. El Oso Verde, defending champs, 7-1, 1286. I believe that leads all scores still.
Yeah, I think so. He just continues to roll right along, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just the Mahomes out, just keeps on going.
Yeah,
tick.
Wolfpack, 2 losses in a row. That's okay.
Two highly unimpressive losses in a row, but
yeah. The Hart Foundation, and then Kells.
Kells won. Everybody, yes. Kells won.
Kells won. It's
been a bit for poor Steve, man.
Let's go to the Conference 2 Fire Division, TB12 the Great. Come on, folks. He's a high school kid. Come on, folks.
We're going to talk about some roster management on TB12 the Great here a little bit later.
Yeah. 6-2, 1055. Bagger the Bat. It's still pretty close, except me. Except me.
You're down there. This division's great here, obviously. Tay could obviously be in first place next week, so could Manny there. So Manny might be stretching a little bit on those points, but he could. He's only 71 back, so Tay could easily just get a win and TB12 a loss. So yeah, that's a tight division.
Yeah.
And then we have I love Michael. I do. But he's got to admit, I ain't never seen nothing like what Michael's doing this year, man. It's another 107-point win this week. It's remarkable. And good for him, dude. But it's just almost. I'm speechless. He just keeps rolling.
Yeah, it happens. And Water Division, Degenerate Bastards, Autumn Wind. Autumn Wind, 12-22.
Degenerates, he's lost one game and he's averaging 115 points a week. It's crazy. But then you look at those points allowed, he's just, for whatever reason, he's got some curse on the league this year that just everybody comes up and goes, I'm going to put up 83 this week. So, good for him, dude.
Yep. Straight LA wins.
It's crazy, dude.
Look at
that. Autumn Wind's teams have almost scored 500 more points than the first place team against them, dude. It's insane, dude. That's just a weird scheduling pickup.
Yeah.
Luck of the draw.
Yep. Hey, let's go to our first matchup. TB12 the Great versus New Denver. Oh my gosh, how close is this? 121 to 125.
Well, it's probably not close at all. If we can just can we get Patrick on the phone to explain to me why in God's name he rolled out broken down, maybe not was even going to play Kansas City versus Julian Edelman out there that day. I'm really kind of confused on what the logic was on that one. Sammy Watkins had 4 points. I don't know, dude. How do you leave Edelman on the bench, Sam? I know it was raining, but dude, they wear gloves these days. I mean, come on, man.
Especially with Mahomes being out. I mean,
yeah, man. I mean, that's a 20-point swing right there, and that cost me, first place and cost him a win. Obviously, he's trying to win, but I mean, I need an explanation. I mean, at what point is Sammy Watkins with a backup quarterback against the Green Bay Packers a better start than Julian Edelman ever? I mean, I can't even figure out when Sammy Watkins is a better start than Julian Edelman. And I'm a Chiefs fan. Sammy Watkins is not very good. So
yeah. And Deshaun Watson stepped up. Saquon Barkley, he's not human. He got injured and they thought he'd be out longer than that. He came back. That's good.
Oh
Yeah. Michael Thomas is supposed to be the best wide receiver there. I mean, in the league, so that's cool. Whatever, but not bad.
If I'm not mistaken, that Michael Thomas touchdown was late. It was like kind of a garbage time touchdown. They got him in late, which put him up over the top. So that's New Denver. That's when you win 5 in a row. You're going to have games like this, and you're going to get some luck like that. Patrick, we're giving it a hard time, but I mean, come on, bro. I mean, come on. Let's put the best team out there.
I almost want to say he ran it through Scott first. Like, hey, do you think this is a good idea?
Scott gave him like a 35-minute lecture on weather. Yeah, that sounds about right. So. Well, I don't know. It could be sprinkling out there that day.
All right, let's go to our matchup, Rob. Ninja Assassin versus Gangrene. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. My running back depth. I mean, they suck. You know what I mean? And you were just too much for me.
Yeah, I did with one quarterback too because I'm pretty pleased with the outcome of that game. I gambled on Saturday night on a quarterback for next week and dumping off Jared Goff, who had who I knew would have a really nice day. So it was kind of nice to have that one come through. I mean, this game's not really very close at all if Cooper Kupp just doesn't go just apeshit on me. That was an insane game by Cooper Kupp. That guy, he's some kind of player, man. And I mean, I know that the Bengals were beat up back there, but that's anytime a guy puts up 220, it's ugly. Yeah, you had it. I mean, our game was pretty good, Sam. I mean, it really was.
Into Monday night, yeah, it was going good there.
It was Sunday night. I mean, it came down to Aaron Jones got a big, I think it was a 64-yard little screen pass there, or not. I wouldn't call it a screen. It was just they kind of turned him into a slot receiver, and Kansas City just. Chiefs played a way better game than I thought. That was one of the better games I've seen this year. It's just they were down Mahomes and they just didn't have an answer for Aaron Jones late. I mean, 159 yards receiving that was a thing of beauty.
So,
my only question with my team here though is Brandon Cooks. I got him, I bag on him, I do all that. Dude, what's up with the concussions? This guy just, I mean, he's concussing himself out there. It's like he drops a pass and then leads with his own helmet, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? I think I read that's four concussions since last Super Bowl, including last Super Bowl. It's absurd. This guy's career could be over here. It's all kidding aside. With him, it's a little discerning.
Yeah. You got to think about your life after football.
Well, it's just, I mean, that's almost bad luck. But I mean, you look at him. I don't know if it's technique. There's guys in this league that are smarter than me that can figure that out. But that's a lot of concussions. You get to the point where you might not see Brandon Cooks again this year because they didn't really pause to take him off the field, and it wasn't much of a hit. And he was wobbly right off the bat. So yeah, nice game. I mean, my running backs are shaping up really good. If I can get Alvin Kamara in there, I mean, maybe stop flexing quarterbacks altogether. So I'm pretty pleased with this team this year. It's coming together nicely. If it would ever get healthy, it would be amazing. So,
Yeah. So
Tyreek Hill is about to go off, dude. You can just watch him in that game last
It's about
weekend. Dude, he was all over and ready to go. They just didn't see him on about a half dozen plays, and you get Mahomes in there, and there's an 80-point game in this guy's future. You can tell it.
There's a chance Mahomes might show up this weekend, right?
I think there's a strong chance of it, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just reading. So we'll see how it goes. So congrats on that, Rob. It was
good game, Sam. That was a fun game, man. I enjoyed it.
It was good.
Of course, I won it, but if I had not won, it was a fun game. It was a good competitive game, dude. 162, 137. I mean, well played, bud.
Yeah. Let's go to the next matchup: Savs versus High Rollers, 120 to 150. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers, of course, Drew Brees. Wow, Drew Brees didn't miss a beat coming back, right? From the injury. So
yeah, no, he looked real strong against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
that was the game right there. He's got Kirk Cousins rolling out there in that one, and I had Dalvin Cook. And that game, I kind of felt kind of cheated in that game. It seems like Minnesota just kind of completely half-assed and did just what they needed to do to win, which is exactly what they did and got off the field. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Javi was thinking more. Anybody that had Cousins going was thinking more than 9 points. That was that was just a bogus game. So, Fournette, he didn't score again, did he? So, that's rough. Let's go over to the other side there. High Rollers, man. I mean, you got to love Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers out there. Saquon Barkley. I got to play this guy this week. This is a strong team here, right?
Just right there. Those three guys you just named off.
Well, then you throw some Nick Chubb and Julio Jones and Tyler Lockett, who's in there, and it's and hell, McLaurin has been great. So this is a strong team. He's sitting there. I looked at that matchup and I said, I better have some players, man. So we're going to be ready to go. He's all the respect for him this year. This was a great game for him. Just a straight up 150. Nick Chubb had some fumbling problems there. So that kind of took it down. But that was a strong week for him.
Yeah, let's talk about San Francisco defense, dude. Is San Fran for real this year, Rob?
Yeah. Well, they're obviously for real. I mean, that team. Bosa just looks insane out there. That game was. I mean, that was a letdown. I mean, you really kind of figured. Well, I did. I thought the Carolina and San Francisco would be one of the better games of the weekend. It looked like some good smash mouth. But I mean, and Niners is 51 points. Who knew it was even possible, right? Mm. Hey, it's just. I mean, they look. I'm surprised how good that team looks this year. You think it's a little bit of schedule and whatnot, but that defense is legit, no question.
Yeah. So good job, High Rollers, on that. Let's go to our next matchup: Bruin Maniacs versus the Bag or the Bat. Hold
on. Whoa! Before we jump there, Sam, here's a great question I heard this week. Since we got a game tomorrow night, let's just leave it out there before we jump out there. Do you take Nick Bosa or do you take Kyler Murray for Arizona at this point? So ponder that as we go into next Thursday night, because Kyler Murray looks all right, but Bosa looks like freaking Howie Long mixed with LT mixed with DT out there. It's ugly. That guy's something. So anyway, who are we going to, Sam?
Bruin Maniacs and the Bag or the Bat, 191 to 78. This could be the highest margin of victory right here, Rob. Unless you tell me otherwise, but I think this could be it.
Do we pay out for that? I can't remember if we pay out for that. I think we got rid of that one, but
probably.
Or we might have put it back in. I'll have to check the damn payout sheet. It's $75. Well, I would say it was definitely the Bat this week. It was, and you put Bruin Maniacs in the Bag. This game was pretty ugly all the way down the Atlanta Falcons -5. It's been better served running the Dallas Cowboys out there. So it's, Juju showed up though, huh?
Finally, right? Finally?
Yeah. Jacoby didn't. Boy, man, the Colts took that game off, and they thought they were still on bye. Back of the Bat, man. Aaron Jones, Latavius Murray. Nolan picked him up last week. You get to hear about how, what a great pickup it was most of the day, and it was, and a great pickup for the Back of the Bat there, just the same. I mean, Jesus, Lord Almighty. I mean, he's running 110 points out of 3 running backs. That's just the way to get it done in fantasy football. There's just a special pride when you're kicking ass with running backs too, isn't there?
Yes, because they're not valued, as much anymore.
Oh no! Running backs are valued, man. What are you talking about? Maybe that's why you're 2-6, bro.
That's true. Because my running back sucks. Okay, my running back sucks.
Yeah, That's why running backs. I don't know, man. Running backs are pretty highly valued. So when you're, we can all run the two quarterbacks out there. It's not my favorite thing running two quarterbacks, but I like it as opposed to the one quarterback. But when you're running three running backs out there, and you put up 110 points. You walk out of that, you're like, fuck yeah, man! I played pretty good this week, baby.
Yeah.
You feel strong about it. That's how. In a roundabout way, that's almost how fantasy football is supposed to be won, in my opinion. But I'm old school, so that's I've been doing it for 30 something years. So and I know Tay probably is pretty damn close to it. So that was a hell of a game out of those guys that Juju showed up to, and and the Steelers. Boy, the Steelers teased you for a minute there on Monday night, though, didn't they?
But Miami's has the tank. You know what I mean? So,
well, you
what
knew
are they
were
doing?
Eventually going to remember that. Yeah, they're up 14-0.
What's Miami doing? They're trying to win or what? And then,
yeah. No, it's and I think they were for a minute, and then the Steelers are no great shape on offense. Outside of Juju's obviously a great player. Connor's good, but I think he hurt himself at the end of the game.
Yes.
Why was he still in the game? And as it was explained later, I think he's the only running back they had left on the depth chart. That's how thin they are there. So maybe they should trade back for Le'Veon Bell after 3 days ago. So yeah, back of the back keeps rolling. That's a hats off to you, brother. That's a hell of a game with those running backs there. 110, man. Century mark, beautiful.
And real quick, speaking of tanking, I think Cincinnati is trying to tank also, just to put it out there. So.
Well, that's a hot take, Sam.
Well, come on.
I mean, they haven't won a game yet, have they? Now they're benching Andy Dalton. That's the way to make the team better.
That's what I was reading. They bench. Oh, okay, they're tanking. Okay,
why don't you trade these guys? I mean, if you're just gonna suck, I mean, but then again, I guess maybe we come back and AJ Green's 32 next year. We'll be strong with it. So
there you go. Let's go on to our next matchup: Sago versus El Oso Verde, 84-76.
This is the kind of game that makes me wake up in the middle of the night and giggle. I mean, this is like Scott's fourth sub 100-point game. I don't know. We can look back, and Nolan just. I mean, usually Nolan's kind of a little stressed on Saturdays. He's 16. He's in the fantasy. The whole bit, right? He's loving it. He's slapping my couch around. We usually have to send him to his room or, yell at him a few times to get him to calm down. He wasn't stressed. It's just like, yeah, I'm playing Sago. Who's going to beat me? Carlos Hyde, Philip Lindsay. and there you go. There's the difference. I mean, we got some guys on our team that are similar to Tyreek Hill and T.Y. Hilton, but the difference is I roll out Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones, and he's rolling out Carlos Hyde and Philip Lindsay. That's not going to get it done, right?
Yeah, I mean,
started
two
like
defenses. I mean, come on, dude. That's
well, yeah, but that was a great two defenses to start, right?
Yes,
I mean, I told him the week before. I said, if you're looking for something while Mahomes is out, you can't drop him. I'm all, please drop him. Maybe look good for my playoff run, right? But I said, maybe look at defense or something, and anytime. I mean, we've all figured this out. I mean, we all go and look for Washington and Miami on the schedule and see if there happens to be a defense playing them that week, right?
Hold up.
That we can pick up.
Hold up, Rob. So you said to your son, hey, because Mahomes injured, look for defense, while Scott said to his son, oh, go ahead and start Sammy Watkins over Edelman? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess so. It was raining. It's rainy out there, man. You bet you John Brown asked I did. That's the only guy that showed up this week and didn't do anything for LSU. Well, Derrick Henry was crap.
Yeah.
I told him to start Melvin Gordon too, but he didn't. So, they don't listen.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, man?
Kids don't listen.
I mean, I would talk more about this game, but dude, this almost looks kind of like meh. But I mean, it's just too easy at this point. He's north of 150 every week, right? So you're coming in at 170. I mean, the team can definitely do it. And you can get it done with two defenses out here. I mean, those are two very good defensive performances. A lot of turnovers in both those games, and they, because both teams gave up right around. I don't think they got many points out of the points allowed. It was, maybe 5 tops, but then 5 for the win. But those are mostly on turnovers. So that's a strong game. And also 7-1 Sago.
Yep. All right.
Ooh.
Let's go on to our next matchup: the Autumn Wind versus Heart Foundation. High scoring games, 151 to 178. Wow.
Ah,
Math,
man,
Math
God,
is
yeah,
Stafford.
151 is not going to be the bad beat on the year. We're going to get to that one in a second, it looks like. But it's Heart Foundation. This week, he got it together. The quarterback combo, Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, looking pretty good this week. They come in
There
at
you go.
62. I
Mhm.
think he's got something there, except for or either a bye or whatnot. I don't know. Mike Evans, if you can get 45 out of Mike Evans every week, this team may be ready to go.
Who else is he going to throw to, right? But Mike Evans. Come on, this should be a weekly thing.
Well, we got Godwin out there, you know.
Uh,
I mean, and of course, we're talking what? We're talking Tampa Bay. I mean, he throws the other team, dude. I mean, he loves to do
it's true.
that. So,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
4 interceptions a game. Yeah.
yeah, what do you mean? Who else are you going to throw to? He just kind of throws it wherever he wants. I mean, sometimes Mike Evans comes up with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the opposition does. So that was a monster game by Evans. The one thing you can count on in that game, those wide receivers are still should be good because they're always just throwing the ball. I don't even think they run in Tampa. There, it's crazy. Yeah, McCaffrey, he was the one bright spot on the Carolina Panthers. And, you know, jumping over to Autumn Wind, you know, tough luck. I mean, a lot of very quarterback heavy this week. Had a nice, you know, the Jags come back and Michael Thomas, you know, just, you know, really not enough. Heart Foundation got it going. 151 to definitely get it done. Would have gotten it done against a lot of teams. But we say that every week. This just not your week, man.
Yeah.
Heart Foundation, trust me, Heart Foundation needed a win just to kind of calm it down, you know, right?
Yeah. And Chase Edmonds,
Just to remember.
I know we spoke Chase Edmonds last week, but I think he got injured this game, Rob. Is that? I don't
Yeah,
know. Okay.
he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a win, though, just to remember you can win in fantasy
yes.
football, right?
I need that, Rob. Okay, and I need that. This
I've been there, man.
3 in a row. I need that.
You're like, dude, I mean, it's a 50-50, right? And I've lost seven times. I've been there.
Let's go to our next matchup: Degenerate Bastard versus Kells. Close game, 109-106. So we kind of have to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm looking. Well, I think in all fairness, I mean, we're going to have to talk about Degenerate every week. He's 7-1. He's going to be a playoff team, and you know, it's crazy. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about player wise in this game. It's, you know, he doesn't, outside of the Niners, he doesn't have anybody that breaks 20. And Kells kind of comes in and
Doesn't look Julian Edelman. There it is. Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh man, my bad. I thought Kells won, but I guess he didn't. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, Sam, can you find something to talk about in this game? I'm kind of stretching, bro.
No, not much really. Congrats to Jenny Bastard. I mean, you know, 109 is a win. You know, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best thing that's happened here is Kells started Julian Edelman, Patrick, you know, so it's, and he maximized the points off his bench, did everything he could right, so did, Michael came up with the right guys there. Yeah, okay, so good job, good game.
Let's go to our final matchup and probably the baddest beat, Wolfpack versus Straight LA, 185 to 198.
You know, to be perfectly honest with you, I assumed that Wolfpack was going to come in and win this game, and Straight LA would get the bad beat at the 198. And the way the season's going, he's probably rooting for that, to be honest with you. You know, go Connor, please. I mean, it just would have been the most Straight LA of all games, right? But the Wolfpack just wasn't quite up to the task. So it's God, man. This is a good game right here, and it kept on going. And like I said, they didn't. I was kind of figured they'd bench Crowder, but they didn't have anybody else, and all he needed to do was break one touchdown, and it's over, right? So Jared Goff, of course, had a strong game. Matt Stafford had a strong game. Running backs were and then the wide receivers for Evans and Galladay. He's got 77 out of there. Throws in a nice little 20 from the Vikings. It's just a strong week, 198 to get to 200, and it's kind of all over the thing. I mean, especially when we're talking about winning with running backs. Well, this is winning with the passing attack, right? So, and Wolfpack just is. I mean, you look at the top end, you're 21, 19, 29, 40, 14, 49. And you're like, how the hell do I lose? You got 34 with the Patriots in the ending, so it's like 3-2-14 in the middle. I don't know. This is a great game.
It is.
I'm trying. The only thing is Straight LA, bro. Tevin Coleman, man, I wouldn't have started him either, but I don't know. I probably would always start Tevin Coleman over Sonny Michel because I don't like Sonny Michel, but because he's not very good. And I mean, I know it kind of sits there to suck and go, oh man, I mean, I could have put 250 up this week, right? He didn't. He could have had the highest score, come to think about it, So what is our high score? Autumn Wind has that, right?
I think so, 250 maybe, something.
Yeah, and those guys are buddies. I think they got a little something going on. They're both going for the season high score, yet they're both like going, dude, we're not going to make the playoffs, man. And I mean, and right there, yeah, your straight LA just about gets to that high score. It's going to be a little bit short. You're going to know about 247 if he had ran Tevin Coleman out there instead of Sonny Michel, because you were going to start Derrick Henry. I mean, come on, we know that. So. And you look at it, I mean, you're sitting there with the guy that's now got Coleman and Ezekiel Elliott on his bench, so he's man, I mean, dude, you want to talk about 2-6 teams you don't want to play? There's one right there. Well, in fact, this guy's all over the place. Last week he puts up 42?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 80 by the time the Patriots got done on Monday night. Patriots, the annoyance of the entire history of fantasy football. But, he just there's Todd. You never know what you're going to get.
No. Every week. But awesome. And that's it for our podcast this week. Thanks for tuning in. And again, make arrangements to pay with the commissioner, please. Get your lineups in tomorrow. Yes.
You don't have to make arrangements. Just pay. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So
just pay the man.
We're not paying the man. We're paying the league, man. I am nothing but the accountant. The league is who you're paying. So
So moves. Get your moves in by tomorrow afternoon, and submit your lineups. Or don't.
Yeah. All right, Sam.
All right, Rob. For Rob, I'm Sam. Thank you very much, guys, and good luck.
Thanks, Sam.